Hi everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield and I'm a professional dance choreographer and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States, and we are here taking a look at the uncut full cams of Stage Fighter. We don't just have ballet today, we have Korean dance and contemporary, and I'm very excited for this. So I think without further ado, we're just gonna get into it, place our votes on who we think took which style, but I do know with ballet we're already kind of spoiled with the results of that, but for the other two, I haven't seen the Korean dance concept shoot yet at this point, and the contemporary one's not even released, so it's gonna be more of a guessing game on those, which I think is gonna be really fun. So let's go ahead and get into it.
Five, four, three, two, one, go.
Wow. Wow. Ooh, we're gonna watch. I think there's the same in this same group, so we're just gonna look.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay. Okay. You know, let's just watch them all. Might as well.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so they're gonna be looking for a double tour, of course, the double cabrioles on both sides. Timing, I think, is gonna be a big thing. Of course, you want allongé, but you don't want it to bleed over in a way that's
4, 3, 2,
that's not practical.
1, go.
Oh, one of my guys was adding a little extra body roll into that. Wow, this is gonna be really interesting, because there's honestly the first few groups had some really cool standouts. One of my guys had some timing on that. Okay, I do know that who's in this group? We have Kyungho, Moon Junun, Kim Yu-chan, and Kim Tae-yeon. So what this means is also I have a sincere feeling that we have a so sorry that they're going to be doing this multiple times. I don't think this is a one and done. So this is just like one uncut out of potentially many we could be looking at. So I mean, one could really show out in this one take and maybe in another, you know, time that they do it, because that has been the case before with Stage Fighter, with what we've, you know, heard, that it's not as simple as just, okay, do it once, okay, we're picking. So, okay. I will say, Yu-chan sticks out in a good way for me. What is the... Okay, that's fine. So, yeah, I think that's Yu-chan right there. But then also stands out well, too. To the break of dawn, ba, da, da, I'll bring the black swan. My preference right now would have to go to Yuchun. Yep. I think they call that, I think it's like a turning jet tape, but they call that an MANEGE. Black Swan. And also, our Yichen, he qualified as first, but we have him teetering back on this like second category, which means this may not be the first take we're given. So, but I really like his performance quality on this. I like his timing and I like his lines. Could just be a preference thing for me.
5, 4, 3.
Yeah, they said in this group they had, oh my gosh. So Kyung-ho, he ended up being our victor. Kang Kyung-ho. No, I don't think so.
1.
Hold on.
Go.
Yeah, also too, how we present. Are we going through a first and presenting out and doing A-Lang-J? Or do you see what I mean? Even those little details, I'm just so curious about how much does our adjudicators know about what the schema of it's supposed to look like. That I don't know. I know they know who the choreographer is, I'm assuming. So maybe they're going off of them. I don't know though. Yeah, it's just that the placement is all different. So that would be my little note there. Hey, little compass drag turn. Saute. Double cabrioles. Of course you want to have a nice carriage, but also this life and breath. And that's a, what, calypso coming out of that? Yeah? Yeah, some of these guys, it felt more like an accent point versus a Black Swan stable. That was beautiful. A little towards the take coming out of that was nice. I mean, if this was I don't think this was the original. Well, no, I would say whenever we were looking at the drafts, this one, it does feel more appropriate for audition. It does feel different than the previous draft that we saw, which is always a good sign. You like that. Okay, Jung Sung-ok, Kim Tae-seok, Jung Min-chan, and Lee Han-ul.
5, 4, 3.
Yeah.
2.
First.
Go.
Second. Yeah, even here, like notice how there's a lot of extra tension going on right here in our chest, and we're overcompensating in that upper body. But I know that's for the sake of performance, so it is going to come down to preference for a certain extent, based on the adjudicators and how they prefer to see an A-Lang-J with the angstiness of this track. I'm assuming some degree of we want to cater or be inspired by the swan lake perspective of posture, so, or texture. Yeah, so the timing's still just a smidgen off. Yeah, I mean, even just the little throw that felt a smidgen jazzy, which is kind of fun. But for an audition, you may want to refrain. I'll bring the black swan. Yeah, I really like my guy right here in the front. I mean, what's funny is that, like, I should know, but I'm not even going to sit here and try to figure out who's who. That's fine. I think Yi-chan was the only one I was able to, like, point out because I've memorized his face, which is cool. But I really liked his sustaining right there. So nice. Love that. Oh, the torture tape is filthy. Yeah. So he's honestly, I would say he's a pretty freaking great contender. I don't know if he's the one who choreographed it, but it looks good on him. Also, we have one of our guys go in the opposite direction on our turn. Yeah, so I would say my contenders would be, I would say, because I know for Devil's Swan, we already know it's Myung-ho, right? Yeah, and then I still don't know who our Angel Swan is. I think he could be a contender for it. Okay, and then we have our last little one right here, Kyung-won, Ming-won, Minu, and Shion.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, very nice. It feels, honestly, my guy right here, he has a sense of, like, there's this masculine prowess or majestic energy that he's pulling on this, which I really, really like because of how he's holding himself. Beautiful. So he stands out in a go. It makes sense why he's first up there. Beautiful. So to God, that's pretty. Well done. bring the blacks. Yeah, I would say his hip alignment was off. Torjite. Nice. And the timing was way off right here for my guy. Now the question is, does this go on swan or on the crash? That would be my, I'm not sure. I am surprised. It could just be, I don't know why, but I am surprised that, let me see. Yu-chan, I'm surprised Yu-chan did not get selected, in my humble opinion, because I really, really liked how he did it.
4, 3, 2,
But I think this is who ended up getting Devil Swan.
1, go.
So I guess they're looking for like they're looking for performance, I wonder. Yeah, I'm noticing that here. Wow, okay. Break up, Dawn. Bah. Timing's a smidgen different right here, right? Swan, it happens on swan, not the crash. So I say that's a timing thing. So I can see that because of the height, it adjusts the timing. And I know for me, I am very timing sensitive. So I'm just trying to make sense as to why he even got moved, is what it looks like too. So I wonder if they did that just to their clothes. I don't know. But in general, I really do like Yi-chan's perspective. I could have totally seen him pull it, but it makes sense because he's been consistent from the jump. So I'm wondering if the adjudicators are also like factoring in the entirety of the audition process. For me, I would say I don't think it would hurt to factor it in. Maybe not be like the sole, like don't focus solely on this one audition, but focus on like the entire process, because it's the same adjudicators judging the entire process. So it's like an accumulated scoring for me. But once again, they didn't ask me, and that is fine. But I would say if we're looking for other contenders of who I would have selected, I really like, was it my guy here?
5, 1, go.
I don't know if I would pick anybody from this group. Oh, his feet were not pointed through the transitions. And also a smidgen labor in the upper body. I don't think it was him. I think it was in this group. It was my guy up here. I would have picked. He would have been a choice for me. I really, really liked. Yeah. Yeah, the really nice and strong, and then of course and then my guy right there. So those would have been my two picks out of everybody outside of Yi-chan, but Yi-chan's an honorable mention. Just I think his vibe is vibing. Now who's this? Kyung, yeah. So I guess I'll go and get it rechecked at the end. But okay, we're going to go ahead and move on to contemporary. Oh boy. All right, here we go. We're gonna watch all the groups, and then we're gonna kind of place our picks here.
5, 4, 3.
Now I hadn't even heard about the song.
1, go.
What's the timing? Okay. Okay.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, there's 3 groups.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
One of my guys stands out in a cool way. I have a feeling a lot of his choices are throwing off his timing, which reminds me of V-chan. Yeah, I like his captivation. Oh my god, his form was really, really nice. Choreography, I'm kind of digging. I like it. There's this that part of me wishes, instead of it being so conversational, that we had some groundedness in our choice. But that's just a choreographic preference of mine.
3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, okay. Yo, that was good. All right, next group. Ah, there was also it only showed 3, so I wonder if somebody got injured.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Nice. Timing was off on those. Because you want that to be believable too. Cool, okay. Oops, there we go. Okay, boom. It's our last one for the contemporaries.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay. So, alright, we're gonna dial it back right here. So our first 4, Chung Hae-sung, Ha Won-jun, Kim Sung-ok, and Kwon Yo-han. Can I say their names? I mean, I can see them more clearly here than in other places. Now, I'm also looking second under. Cool. I have no idea how they have this structured in, like, what take are we getting? Is it the first one where they're in there like first, second, and unders? I don't know, because they're not in an order, personally. From going and reading, and so I think a couple of things that just in general, no matter the style you look for at auditions, is stability. So how are they handling nerves? Are the nerves causing their stability to get off balance? Like, there's a lot of hinges in this, so there's a lot of balance points. So how stable are their transitions through these moves? Not only that, are the moves being properly connected with each other? Because sometimes you're noticing there's like angst for the sake of it, and then there's more genuinity behind the interaction with the move. So I think that would be my big note. Like, I love his conversational element. So you want it to really be a trigger where it's all reactionary. But I hope you're noticing this little and we're just resetting just pedestrian-like, which is fine. I actually like the pedestrian. I personally think having a really grounded, like a staggering reset, I think would have been very fitting for that timbre of the track. But that's just my choreographer to choreographer. Yeah. And then we just explode. Now this part, there's a big thing is the balance. This is like a grand plie coming out of this. And it goes ding, 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 boom, little explosion. The melt through is fine. So I really do like my guy over here on the left side. And he comes up, da, da, da. So I'm going click, click, click. I'm assuming that's what it is. Now that part, this part can look a smidgen awkward depending on how you're letting your torso interact with the switch. So that's my big note there. The pull, and even there, that was nice, beautiful. And that was like that was not even a cartwheel. It's not even a Valdez. It's just, oh my gosh, what is that? I mean, it kind of is. Maybe you could honestly pull maybe like a, oh man, an extend, that's an illusion. And then from there, that's like a Valdez variant or something along those lines. It's fun. It's a vibe. Boom. Now is that supposed to be like a huge C jump? Is it just supposed to be this jump of angst? That I don't know, because that would determine how people fare on it. Some of them don't feel as committed as others. That hinge was nice, but I know some people, they choose to supplement not getting so high to make sure we hinge and are stable in that moment. I like the reaches from some of our guys. Some of them do feel a little bit safe, because this beginning was great, but it feels safe now. The backwards roll is nice. I like the body roll to the pas de bourrée. That dee 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 dee. So that's going on the boo no no doo doo doo. Yeah, bump 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 bump, and then we cross it over. Yeah, some of us, I don't know if we're early, late. The lift, and then he hops out of it. So little things like that can cost you if you just hop, or if your timing's off. So, but I really like his finish. So he stands out in a fun way, but also he played it very safe in some other instances. But okay, so there really wasn't anybody in that group that really, really stuck out to me. Okay, Yoo Tae-young, Yoon Hyuk-jung, Go Dong-hoon, and Aibin. Ivan's the one in the long sleeve, isn't he? Right here.
4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, for me, I don't mind either of them, but one of them is wrong. Because the timing is off, and also the placement of the hand. So I don't know who it is, but I'm assuming he's grabbing mouth, or grabbing head, mouth, or maybe it's artist choice, because in contemporary, a lot of times you do end up seeing that. The explosion is fine. I like the form on that. Stability is super off right here, and of course with Ivan as well, his alignment is off. Push through that little. Is that supposed to hit on the crash? Oh, here we go. Yeah, so he's hitting the timing right here compared to my guy right here. I don't mind his choices. But then he was off. He hobbled through that. But also part of me really does love this transition where it's like this. It does feel like a capoeira influence, right? Yeah, and the leaps were cool. That was nice. The reach, I love that. Now, for me, are we supposed to kind of melt through that and let it sustain as long as possible? Or are we supposed to be down at a certain time? Those are questions I would totally want answered. I will put it this way. If you're going to go off on timing, show me that your timing is better than the original timing. That's been a big thing that I've noticed sometimes when you see people deviate and they go off of a different musicality. You got to prove to me that if you're going to do that and you make that conscious effort to, in fact, do that, show me why you made the choice. Make me change my mind about how the choreo is supposed to be. But in an audition, you want to kind of avoid that. But once again, this is Mnet, so you can kind of do whatever you want. So this form is fine. I mean, everyone's making like pretty big mistakes in certain sections that make them kind of be, you know, it's like, disappointing, you know? Feels like that. Because once again, I mean, I could see him possibly being a contender, but I don't know. But there's no one in like the first ranking thus far that is like, that's going to be my feature based on the reviews. There's still a few more videos. There's a couple that do stand out. We'll talk about it. The left was fine. I like that. That was a nice hit. And then right there, we slowly melt. Ta-da! Yeah, so I can see this guy right here standing there. So who is that? It's Hyuk Jung, maybe? Yeah, okay, cool. Moving on. All right, this group, we have Kim Young-ung, Lee Jung-hoon, Park Jin-ho, and Oh Hyuk-han.
5.
Okay. I'm telling you right now, top 2 is probably going to be my guy right here, for sure. And I'm going to tell you why. Because there is no question his stability, his power, but also his commitment to character. So if you watch, in comparison, because that's all this is, he's committing, he's risk-taking through range and through the kinesphere. He's allowing his body to actually go for it instead of just placed movement. He's actually moving his body to where it's risky business on the stability side to keep hitting it there, but also it'll be a risk on your timing. So for me, this also shows that he's been practicing this fullness. Because sometimes, I'll be honest, regardless if you're professional or not, sometimes people wait until they're on stage to actually go full out. Or they adjust it and go more full out when they're on stage, which can work against you, like in cases we've seen where your timing's off, your stability's off, or your fullness, you end up wearing yourself out a little bit more, that kind of stuff. But look, even here his form looks really nice. Now there's another guy that's kind of piquing my interest right here. No, I really, really like his fullness on this, but he's an example to me where his timing gets thrown off because he's going for it so hard. So you have to find a balance. And so for me, Kim Young-hoon is really showcasing that in a great way with the throw, and also his arms a smidgen off, which is so interesting. Yeah, bring it back, and then we go. I love that. Feels like a dying flower. But his texture is really, really nice, though. I like that. Honorable mention. And then, but he also added an extra extension that I don't believe is in the choreo. So that may be like a, hey, good for him. I don't know, though. Yeah, that, oh my god, like that was filthy. That's a little turn right there. Then go to the illusion, and then he travels it over. So I think a component of this is not getting a lot of height on this martial arts capoeira influence, but it's like a traveling step, which is what makes it very captivating, right? The leap there was cool. So I would say like a legit honorable mention would be my guy right here for sure. But I would see him as top 2 over here on this right side. Reach. Yeah. Yeah, but he ended too early too, so that's another timing discrepancy. So his timing is great the whole time, and that to me is what naturally makes your eye get drawn. Because I'm telling you right now, if I'm a judge and I'm looking and I'm naturally wanting to watch somebody, there's something to speak on that, you know? So that's really cool. All of that, it's just like, ugh. And he finishes, didn't. Yeah, so maybe they were like he went too full out or whatever. I really like his commitment though, so we're gonna give him a thumbs up for that for show. Next up on our list, this is a fabulous group. Now we only have 3 people listed. Why is that? My gut tells me a potential injury, maybe. I'm not quite sure, but I would say one of my other guys in top 2 is gonna be my center right here, Hye-hun. It's just, he has very similar cases of things that are captivating about Kim Young-hoon that he's also showcasing very well. Power, consistency, his fullness on that is really, really cool. But I also really like with him, I love his usage of shoulders to create this heavy degree of angst. That's so nice. Travel home. Now that was fascinating. The timing was different, right? Of course, amongst the three, but yeah, it says da da da. Didn't quite hit the timing on that, so those things can be a difference, make or break. And his timing, of course, was a little bit too early. The turn, that was nice. Also, I don't know if he's showcasing enough performance for those that are watching for what they're looking for. It just feels like a leg. It just feels like a little fan around the back. But I really love this angsty leap he does. It just makes me wonder, are we supposed to do a C jump or are we supposed to do just an angsty jump? Because his was the angstiest of all and I loved it. It was so cool. But the hinge around was nice. And I like how he's down, he goes up, and then he rolls. So captivating. Yeah, with my other guys, it's just some timing stuff. And some of it does feel like I loved his. Probably one of the best ones to do this little ticking progression, which was nice. The tension was nice. Boom. And I really like how he went out and brought it back and used that to influence the torso. So those little details are super, super cool. So I can see him be a genuine contender for top 2. All right, next grouping. It is, who is this? It's Kim Hyung-ho, Junhyuk, Kim Eun-hyuk, ooh, Han Jong-bin.
5.
All right. Did anybody stand out in this group?
2, 1, go.
Yeah, some of us did choose to like let it bleed instead of boom, 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 making it very clear and staccato that it didn't feel as readable and it felt a bit like mushy. And mushy in like not, you want it to be readable, right? If you're going to showcase or deviate, make it readable at least. So for me, I did feel like we were melting in the wrong areas. I like his angsty choice with the head. That was cool. The push and the bleed downs were nice. Yeah, da-da. It does feel like we were still off there with some of our guys. I think it's supposed to be click, click, click. Da-da. See, now I'm gosh, I gotta go to somebody else who I think did the timing. Hold on, not this group, this group. Da-da-da-ba-da-da-da-ba-ba. So yeah, so I'm watching here. He's gonna be my guide for a second, because I don't know who choreographed this yet. Oh, cut out. Oh, I guess it's just a drop. So I was wrong. So I guess my Hyehyun actually did on the right timing. So that's on me. So now let's go back. Let's see if it goes. Yeah, boom, boom. Now, see, this is wild. I don't know if we're supposed to go click, click, or if we're supposed to go boom right there on the bass. Part of me feels like the bass, if you're gonna do it, it's gonna. Da da da. Oh, I don't know. Because that does influence your bridge recover, that influences this moment after. Yeah, but some of them chose to go up versus like transition. There's little things. The jump, down with the pull. Yeah, those reaches didn't feel as risk taking, which I think really that's like the perfect moment to freaking fly and squirrel it. To sustain in our turn before we roll. Backwards roll. Pas de bourrée. Yeah, his was pretty clear on those little ticking moments. For me, I am going to be a stickler on that. Because I know where that timing is. He over-isolated the head. I see it, I recognize it, I appreciate it. But for this choreo, he over-isolated. Because you saw this break apart. That was fun. Yeah, of course, a little stability check right there. Because I want to see whatever choice you make does, like, it feels like your body's competent enough to do it. So there wasn't in here, I don't think there was really anybody in that one that I was like, yo, they're going to be a legit contender. Okay, here we have Kim Jae-jin, Young, Song Yoon, Kim Do-hyun, Chu Seok.
5.
I think it's my guy right here. He sticks out in a cool way.
2, 1.
Could be because I naturally have him more zoomed in. Could be that. Da da da, but his feels conversational and it works, but I think it's different timing or how he goes dee dee dee. It's not so broken up. His feels very guided by the shoulders, because notice he's pulling and hollowing out his chest and everyone else is arching back. That's cool. Do you notice that? Yeah, everyone's here, but he's here, and this to me sells it. Is how he's holding his body right there in this moment. This is cool. I'm digging these. Okay. Yeah, bum, bum, bum. Oof, yeah. Commitment is nice. And then this does have a little sensual, like, glare about it, which I wonder is, it's Taemin. And I feel like Taemin's voice oozes that kind of vibe, which is kind of fun. Melt. That also looked very seamless, how he chose to do that transition. Melts through, up, bum, bum. That was going click, click, click. His was itemized, right? Do you notice that? Yeah, that's what makes me question it. Golly. Boom. Da-na-na, ba. His leap was nice. Oh, and he saved it. Notice he had a little stability issue there, because when he hit it and he landed, and that's the risk when you really go for it, is when you land, sometimes your butt, it's like he's gonna want to fall back, but he recovered it because he hopped it in his hinge. Versus, I would assume when you drop down, he put his hands on the ground, so his was more obvious. And then everyone else that wanted to hop, I think my guy in the far back ended up just stepping, so he had the least amount of issues with the jump. But honestly, how did he jump? Oh, he didn't arch it. So for me, I appreciate, like, I guess the checks and balances would be, do I appreciate somebody who goes for like an archy, angsty pose over someone who does like a safer option if the stability is questioned after? That's a very interesting thing. Like, that's weighing whose preferences are whose in this, right? The reach on that's cool. I'm trying to think. Yeah, so everyone's reaches, I think, on the crash is kind of our goal, right? Roll. No. D. His was very, very clear too, so that was cool. Ba, 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 da, da, da. And I really love how he arches that around. And how he hits that. It's really cool too. And he melts. Ooh, so I technically have 3 people that are contenders for the top spot. Ah. Okay, so my 3 that I can see taking top spot or top 2 spots would be Kim Young-hoon, Kim Hyo-hyun, and Yang Song-yoon. So the guy in the last group with the long hair, I think the guy that grew up in, he grew up abroad, and then my other guy who just, I think it was my first standout, right? So those would be the 3 that I would select. Now keep in mind, I don't know if they're going to be doing like accumulated or if they're going to do it heavily specific, and I don't know how many run-throughs they technically did, because that also is going to be a factor. Consistency of performance as well, like your stamina within it. You know, they literally put everybody through the ringer for the audition. So those would be my 3 that I'm going to put in the hat to see who's going to take top spot. It'd be one of those 3 based on this audition. I mean, were all of them, I didn't even notice. Were all of them number 1? Yeah, so they were all in the first ranking. I don't know whose choreo it was. I wonder if that's a factor too, because I know in the dance rank mission for the Street Fighter franchise, that is a factor. So whose choreo it is, I don't remember. So maybe we'll find out in the episode, but it's time to shine, everybody. We got the Korean dance time. Ooh, I'm so excited. I'm gonna be a heavy layman in this.
4, 3, 2, 1,
Cool. Okay, right now my standout is going to be my guy right here. He is somebody that stuck out to me. Cool. Next up. I can't really know how my...
4, 3, 2, 1.
I love they get to pick their fits. It's kind of dope. Okay, no one inherently like, whoa, that was amazing, but hey, it's Korean dance, everybody. We're just living it up right now.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go.
The guy in purple. Yeah. Because also, how his costume is hitting it too is really tasteful. Okay. Okay. This is so fascinating. Like, I'm a layman living it up right now. Turn it up.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
One of my guys is already ready. Okay. No one specifically in that one I'm like, ooh, that really stuck out in a cool way. But there could be things that they're doing that I'm missing, which is fine.
3,
I know my lane. We're living it up in this one, though. This is really hard for me to kind of pinpoint. Who would I pick? Ah, okay. Last group.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go.
My guy in white. Whoa. Oh, my guy in white's a heavy contender for me personally because of the timing as well as his commitment and his fullness. Whoa, this is so cool. Okay, back to the top. So, of course, the person who choreographed it is our guy right here. This I do remember because he's like, what is it? The Big Kahuna. He's the guy, of course, that everyone's like, yeah, this dude's so cool. But someone gave him a run for his money in this group, and I think it's this dude right here. He stuck out in a really nice way. Some areas where I feel like, oh, it feels a smidgen muted from our choreographer. He did very full. Now, do I think that comes from my own, like, my own expectations on just movement quality in general? Maybe, but also there's like a huge element of, I'm aware of certain certain fundamentals that are in play with Korean dance or just classical folk dance in the Asian side of things, but not enough to where I can itemize the terminology like they're able to. We're gonna let them do it. I'm getting educated alongside you guys. It is so much fun, but I'm telling you right now, he is going to be a sincere contender, especially if he's in the same group as the one who made it. That can be a really big factor in determining who's gonna take it. Yeah, goodness gracious, freaking sick.
1. Go.
Here we go. Da da da. So technically he went early. Da 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 da. It's supposed to be there because I was really looking. So he did the ooh doo 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 doo, which is cool, but I'm assuming he taught it with a hold. Now from here, I think part of it's going to be readability, digestibility, fullness, posture, the breath, those types of things, right? So that very, very clear on the knees. Boom, take it, they bring it, nah, nah. So I really like the resaw on that, super cool. Then switch it over, and then we have this little extra, boom, bounce out of that. We hit up, very nice on the poses, boom, boom. And then the stylized hand, my God, it's so cool. And then we have this little extra bounce coming out of it. Ooh, so cool. Yeah. Oh, and honestly, he's deemed second, right? In the second rank, I think he's a legit contender. If he's pulling this, they may switch him and have him do it again. Because remember, I think this is one take out of many. But of course, I'll find out in the episode. And that's what my gut tells me, is that they're going to have him switch, and then they're going to make him run it again. And they'll hit, and I like the fullness coming from our big guy that comes up. The breath is nice. Also, I think a big thing is how your costume flows and how you're able to work with it. I think that's a big thing too. The turn through is really nice, and then look, even there he had this nice little embellishment of the style. Yeah, boom da da da, boom with the knee accent. Come on. Then the intensity on that, I like the elbows on that. Super cool. The pickup there, yeah, all that. Notice the brush of the outfit on this. Whoa, that is killer. Yeah, boom boom. It's yeah. Sheesh, he stuck out in a fantastic way, my guy right here. So I'm going to literally put I think he's going to be a top 2, because part of it, we got to call it what it is. Part of it's going to be what group you're in and who you're in, who you're with, because I think a lot of times the adjudicators put them in their groups, so they're looking for different things, just like they had Yi-chan and then the guy who ended up taking the double swan, they put them in the same group, and it made sense because it's like you're going to have to go up to snuff with literally anybody, right? Next group, this is the one that I didn't really have anybody stand out to me. Park Jun-hoo, Kim Si-won.
5, 4.
You know what? I just had a thought. Do they put them in order? Min-seok, Ji-won. I don't think they do, because the guy that I wrote down just now, I think it's right here, Ji-won, and his name's right there. Right, so I guess for me, that would probably just be a note to Mnet. If you're going to put their names, I would love it if they put their name that is in correspondence to who's auditioning. I think that'd make it way easier on my brain. It's just people in general, but that's just wistful thinking. Whatever. Okay.
3, 2,
Now, this color, oh, love it. Love that color.
1.
So cool.
Go.
Yeah, now now that is what caught me, is that he swung too early, or it felt like he went too early on that. And then, and how the switch up, I did the backhand, I didn't really see, it doesn't feel very readable. And that's my first thing, is how readable is the information you're giving me. Then you, of course, look at stability as well. And some of us ended up twinkling in our fingers, rotating around, it was a little bit off. I think one of my guys ended up, his rotation was just completely off. Yeah, it was just, some chose to accent it, some chose to make it its own moment, that kind of stuff. Okay, my guy right here stands out in some really cool ways. But it does feel like he has really nice choices, but there's not a lot of performance quality to where I naturally am wanting to look at him. That is something that I know it feels very subjective, and it is, but it is a factor in auditions a lot of times, is if, like I just said earlier, if I naturally want to look at you and I'm like, whoa, just like what happened in the very first group, that's going to really work in your favor long term whenever it's like, if you become a memorable person, especially if you're one of the earlier groups, that can really help you in your placement in auditions after everything's said and done. Just like when you watch, I think when we're watching Road to Kingdom 2, when you have people go earlier on in the set, but you still think about them, that's a job well done compared to you just watched a really cool performance at the end. So it's cool, man. So I liked his little bounce on the tail end of that. That was nice with a reach. Yeah, all that of course, I think that's part of the choreo. Okay. No. Yeah, okay. Oh, I like how he did that. My third person is really cool. And some of us are ending up, it feels very stiff in some of our choices versus adding a sense of breath. I do think breath is a big component in Korean dance. I think it's been discussed, it's been talked about. Now, the breath and how does it look? I'm assuming that equates to flow. When we talk about it in waving, you want to maintain flow. You don't want it to be too isolated, too rigid, unless that's like the true intention of it. But in this case, this move here needs to have a sense of breath and energy pushed through it from the torso. And some of us feel a smidgen isolated, which is so fascinating. Yeah, you notice that? Like he's pushing from the shoulders in comparison to letting the breath help influence that. His choices are nice, but some of them do feel very full. And then that boom, of course, that little hit in the end, it's fun. A little reverbs on the tail end. So I like a lot of my guy on the far left's choices, but unfortunately, I kind of have a feeling that it may not help him to kind of like stand out. But I'm still gonna put his name down as like an honorable mention for me. All right, our next group. Now, my guy in purple, he stuck out in a really cool way, which is cool. So we have Kim Jong-chil, Jo Tae-yoon, Kim In-soo, and Choi Jong-in. Ooh, I'm trying over here. Okay. It is interesting, though, how it sits, though, isn't it? There's like a little opening, huh? Okay, here we go. Yeah, a lot of these choices feel very full, and I really love how he hits it. Some chose to go height, some chose to go in the full package of it, which is what my guy in purple, you notice the difference, is that one guy has the height, one's factoring more of the fabric. He has a hybrid of both. He feels like a freaking crane, which I wonder if that's like a kind of positioning that you want to aim for in some cases. I don't know, but that's cool. We love it. And then I have my other guy right here. I love his choices over on this far right, but I feel like that, when in the comparison game, because they're all going at the same time, if I'm normally drawn over here, and he's in all black too, this is another thing. So I have a feeling they were able to, this group, compared to all of them, which is very interesting they were allowed this, they were all able to wear their own outfits, and outfit color can influence the eye. And there's been case studies done on this where the contrast between blue and red. Now, in the early 2000s, it really did have a significant influence on how judges would view individuals based on what they were wearing. Like, that's a real thing, and it's still a thing that's talked about in auditions. But nowadays, it's more so there's other elements that get looked at too, which I think is really cool. But all this to say, what really worked in my guy's favor is that most people are in like a really black fits, and I would say if he wore a brighter color, if I'm being genuine, there is a chance that some of his movements would maybe able to stand out in a way that my guy right here did, because he has a color. Yes, it's darker, but he also made it and maneuvered it to where he has a little opening by his core, so you can actually see that there's areas for him to actually breathe through it. So that's really cool. And the reason, notice the lengthening of the shoulders. I love that. And he's allowing it to have this breath. His breath's maintained. You notice here that we're having these accent points, but the accents are not cutting off the flow. That's something I'm looking at here too. That's probably why I love Korean dance so much, is because there's such an overlap in a lot of the breathability, digestibility, and flow maintained in waving. You do see integrated in Korean dance or in Chinese, folk, Chino Sri, that kind of stuff. God, it's so cool. Yeah, and even there, I love that with the extra nuance of there, and the brush back. Yeah, and the kick accent too is really cool. But I would say, like, my honorable mention of the group, though, I really do think it's unfortunate he's in an all-black fit like that. Because it's not even mesh, it's just straight, full black, so it is hard to really, like, watch him. And he's probably in the far back, too, and that's another thing. But my guy right here is freaking bodying it, though. Yeah. Yeah, I really like his movement quality, in all honesty. Like, I think I like his choices too, but man, I really like his movement quality a lot. But we also have to remember the type of show this is and the type of typecasting that they're going to do. They may factor in what people look like as well. That sucks, but that is a thing that they do. So, I don't know, but I would say both of these guys did a fantastic job. But out of the two, I would say my guy in purple has a higher chance, I think, of scoring in a higher percentile because of his performance. And it can be as simple as what you wear in comparison to those around you. All right, next group. You can already tell we got one of our guys that he decided to go, I'm going to do what I want. I mean, that's just, I wonder what Mnet chooses to do with that. Because even from how he's starting, it's already so different.
3, 2, 1.
And he went a little bit early too, just like our first guy did. Now out the gate, I do like some of his choices, but I do feel like he's being a bit too flamboyant and not respecting the integrity of the choreography given. There is a way to balance. You have to be able to retain choreo first, right? Gotta get the choreo. Secondly, what you add doesn't need to take away the framework of it, right? And that's something that's taught in classes pretty often. And that's something that I speak on too, is that as much as I appreciate individuality, it's highly encouraged to showcase one's artistry through a schema of movement. That's what a choreographer's job is, right? Unless on the job, there's very specific things you have to do for the overall picture of your role as a dancer, performer, this, that, or the other. But in this lens, you're trying to fight to be that main dancer. It's the dance rank mission that we saw in the Street Fighter franchise. It's so fun that we get this in the Stage Fighter, and they're on a stage, haha. But I think a really big note on this is that we're changing too much to where I can't really measure your competency to do what you're being asked to do, to follow directions, is really what I'm seeing here. But that could just be my personal note of who I am from where I live in my culture of the side of dance, or it's something that may get talked about. I don't know. But that's going to be my big note I get to my guy in white over here on the right. But I would say one of the guys that's standing out in the sense of showcasing really nice breathability of it, the flow of it, would be my guy right here. I like his choices. They're cool. And then he ends up twinkling it, and he doesn't really reverb, which I feel like is one of those elements that we do end up seeing at some point. My guy in the blue ends up doing it, right? Yeah, I like that choice, but it does feel like we're reverbing for like the sake of it versus actually bouncing with intention through the track. But I like his choices though. I'd say my guy in blue is starting to stand out. Could it be outfit? I don't know if it's quite as much outfit on this one as it is like it was on the previous one. Go down and up. Yeah, I would say my guy right here in blue. It could just be blue. Maybe it is my favorite color. I do like it. But I really don't think I'm that subjective. I hopefully I've proven in the thousands of analysis that I've done that I'm not like that subjective where it really comes down to costuming. It can influence the eye to a certain degree, but that type of color, I don't think, I mean, the white would naturally want to stand out more, but because he's deviating so much, I kind of feel like it's just not practical. But I would say my guy in blue is doing a very nice job, but I like my guy in the mesh over here in some of his choices, but some of the choices that I wanted him to fully commit to, he didn't. But that was really pretty, just the lift on that. Boom. Yeah, so I could see my guy right here be a contender. Yeah, whoa, the type of fit he's in. Like, notice the breath, the extra texture of his outfit is nice. It could also be how it fits, like how it flows. That could be another factor as well. So this part was fine. I would say preference was an earlier group with this particular move, and my guy in blue near the middle to the end started to stand out for me. But how he finished was really cool. But then my guy over here, what is he doing? So I would say a contender would be my guy in blue, but hey, honorable mention will go to this meshy black fit individual for sure. Oh, okay, he's a contender to begin with. Cool. And I also forgot, who was the choreography that I really liked, because I mean the one we ended up with was fine. I liked the challenge of it, it's cool, but there was one that I really liked and I forgot who did it. Next grouping, here we go. So I really am digging this fit over here. I do know he is covered in tats, right? I think he's our tatted guy, like myself, which is cool. So he has to wear more of an opaque kind of fit. You know, he can't show it all off because it's internet, and they said no tats. So that's life.
4, 3.
I don't think that's it. I'm going to be honest. That's not going to be a reason why he gets picked or not gets picked.
Go.
Yeah, so timing's already off right there. I think that cost him, because I would say the form, and there is a judge on here, which, complete side note, Kim Jae-sung, who is one of the judges on this show, he and I follow each other on Instagram now. So we stan the judging panel just for that reason. I'm just kidding, but not kidding about that. Like, it's really cool though that, like, if you've actually watched how he judges, it's very fascinating because of what he talks about, and I just think it's just really cool. So all that to say, we stand the judging panel of the Korean dance side of things because how they're judging it is on par with ballet and contemporary, and because I am more of a layman in this field, it's really helpful for people like me who want to be a sponge and absorb the information but not really know 100% what I'm looking at, maybe about 75, right? So I do feel like he's one he has a really good eye to look at timing and that kind of stuff, because that's what we saw in the audition process. But there were no uncuts to look at for YouTube, but I did watch the episode and it was very fascinating, a lot of notes we got to see on there. But I would say timing on that for my guy in this peach is really cool color, but I do think that cost him for this. And also we don't know how many times they performed this either. Oh, that could be the choreo. I'd take back what I said about one of my guys earlier, how he chose to do this, but he didn't bounce down, so I'm still going to clock him on that, but this I think is fine. So I like his choices right here, over here on the right side, but a lot of them do feel a smidge in place. They don't feel like there's extra breath and performance within them that actually has him stand out, and that's what you have to have in a large, like, you're competing against everybody and their mama, you know? But his form is really nice there too. Some of his choices with the upper back. And I think we call these enveloppes with the pointed foot, but I know that is not what this is called, which is fine. But I like the choices with the leans. I think those are fun. That ending was sick, though. I really like that from my far out guy. But if I'm being honest, compared to the other groups I've seen, there's really no one in this one, to me, that stands out so much where I'm like, ooh, they're a legit contender in my head. But that doesn't mean that they're not. Like, everyone's doing a pretty great job. They're doing better than I. Even this little part, I'm not quite sure what that was with my guy over here on the left side, but I love his pants a lot. Okay. Now, our final group here, my guy in white, really stuck out in a cool way on this one. There's this Kim Hyo-jun, Park Chol-woo, Kim Kyu-yeon, and Kim Min-soo.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Different fits. I like the fact that everyone's in a different fit, so it's very clear, distinguishable. We're here for it. I like how he chooses to go da-da. I can hear the attempts of matching music with my guy in the all white. I think it's what stands out to me. And he's also making more of like a postural kind of choice. For me, it's literally going to go to who is doing the choreography the way that is fundamentally the most sound, and when they choose to deviate, who's doing it to where it's tasteful and works and who's not. Like, it's gonna be very close for a lot of cases, I feel, with this one. Or maybe it's not and I'm just blind. That's okay too. But of course my two right here are doing pretty good. The breath on that's really nice. Part of me feels like the longer coat or cloak kind of a hanbok influence, I think would have fares better on this choreo, is what I'm noticing, compared to the short ones, because I would say, because the extra flow on the back is really captivating, and it makes you stand out in a really cool way. And these, the ones that stuck out to me, have that longer hanbok, right? But then my guy right here did a pretty great job though. Yeah, and I think my guy right here, he went a little bit very full on the hands, when I normally have been seeing it placed more in front. Yeah, like right there. It's an accent. We didn't throw it away, is kind of what it feels like to me. The turn right there, that was nice. Yeah, da-da-da, that was, oh my god, this, filthy, coming from my guy in all white. And the pickups there, his also looks the most natural out of everybody that stuck out to me. His looks really nice. But also my guy right here is pretty cool too. This is a good group, honestly. Like, everyone did a pretty good job. Yeah, everyone held. Yeah, it's cool. But I would say, like, little details like this. Notice his squat is deeper. I mean, his is about that deep too, but his squat is pretty deep, and a lot of his choices felt natural. Flow wasn't broken, and it didn't look like he threw away anything. So that's why I would say, like, he's a genuine contender for me too of who could take a top spot. But yeah. Okay, so here are my top 3 for the Korean dance side, and there's gonna be a separate video where I'm gonna get this all satisfied and figured out who won what, and maybe in the episode I'll figure out who wins contemporary. I don't know, but I think I have Chejin Won, who was in the first group with the original choreographer. I think that is going to really work in his favor. If no one else dances next to the original choreographer, he could pull out a win for that. Like, that is a really big thing, because the adjudicators did place everybody in their respective groups, and I don't know what the other 2 that I placed or put up as contenders, were they in the same groups as our lead choreographer. I don't know that. But another person, I would say Kim Jong-chol. He was a really good option. I think he was the one in the purple. I think is the one that stuck out to me. So I'm going to put that purple guy. And then my third one is the guy in all white, that Kim Yoon-yeon, stuck out to me in a great way too. So now everybody did a fantastic job, and I am never going to complain about watching Korean dance ever in my life. I want to see it all the time in all the ways. It makes me really excited to finally see this concept shoot. Oh, it's going to be so fun. Oh man, I hope I made some sort of sense, but I really enjoyed looking at the uncuts and seeing the stage. It gets me nice and prepped for the episode. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch. If you want to get in on the action on actually having discussions with me about the episodes or any of the commentary that we have from the uncuts, I have all of that on Patreon and a big group chat that's available for any member. You don't have to be paying to be a part of it, where you can go and contribute your thoughts there in a safer spot, more safe than Reddit or YouTube a lot of times. But if you just want to hang out in the comments here, I am totally open for that. Just keep in mind, normally it does take me a lot longer to respond on YouTube, but I do read all the comments, so keep that in mind too. I do see when you do post, and I really appreciate it. But yeah, like when I'm telling you I am loving this show, the format of it, the really big thing in this is the fact that I truly feel like Mnet got it right on who they brought to adjudicate. Like, that is what makes a world of a difference here compared to a lot of the issues in the Street Fighter side, where there was a lot of things structured well, but because they didn't have a decent panel actually enforcing, it fell on deaf ears a little bit personally. And so I'm very happy to be able to look at this and enjoy this alongside you guys. And if you are an enthusiast like myself on the Korean dance side, or if you're a practitioner on the ballet, contemporary, or Korean dance, I want to hear from you. What were your thoughts? Who stuck out to you? Who are your top picks? And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I'm excited to continue diving in alongside y'all. Once again, my name is Jess, and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye.